Sister wives. I see surprising signs Meri Brown was the favorite wife before Robyn, contrary to what Kody says. I have noticed some clues while watching Sister Wives that suggest Meri Brown had been Kody Brown's favorite wife before Robyn Brown entered the picture. Kody and Meri have gone through two separations. The first was in 2014 when Kody legally divorced Meri so he could marry Robyn and adopt her children. Although Kody and Meri had been married since 1990, they remained spiritually bonded until 2020 when they ultimately ended their relationship for good. However, while Kody seemed ready for Meri to walk away, she wasn't willing to give up on him so easily. Meri was 19 when she married 21-year-old Kody, but their relationship quickly grew distant. Kody's emotional coldness left Meri feeling isolated, and his favoritism toward Robyn strained all his marriages. Meri's fertility struggles added more tension, as she longed for children, but Kody showed little interest in starting a family with her. After Meri became involved in a catfishing scandal, Kody used the incident to further distance himself. He had already prioritized his other wives over Meri. Still, one wonders, could things have turned out differently if Kody had been honest about his true feelings for her from the start? While spending time with Meri on their 32nd anniversary, Kody alluded to the idea that he never truly loved her and felt like he had to marry her. In response, Meri said, "I know you loved me." She asked why he even proposed if he didn't feel that way. At the time, both were single and Kody had willingly chosen to marry Meri. She wanted to understand why he would pretend to love her and force a relationship if his feelings weren't real. To Meri, it felt cruel, like Kody had simply picked her out of a crowd without genuine love. Kody's response to Meri's accusation was startling. He chose not to confirm her claims and refused to comment on them. In a later episode, Kody insisted their marriage had been on the rocks the entire time because he had such a better relationship with his other wives. He even claimed he should have ended the relationship 25 years ago. However, he admitted he stayed out of fear, believing that leadership wouldn't allow him to marry again if he was seen as discarding wives. Kody didn't leave Meri, despite claiming he never loved her and regretted marrying her. He admitted to staying in a loveless marriage and misleading Meri about wanting to make it work, just to keep the door open for marrying more women. Despite his unhappiness, Kody chose to remain in the relationship with Meri. Although he often spoke about love and family, his actions suggested otherwise. His admission revealed that he had been stringing Meri along, not out of commitment, but to serve his own interests in expanding the family. At the same time, Kody gave Meri hope that their marriage could still have good moments. He led her to believe he would work on their relationship shortly after they exchanged vows in 1990. Were those mixed messages? According to Kody, they were. It left Meri feeling like she had been wearing blinders. She began to wonder if Kody had been trying to push her away all those years by repeatedly insisting he didn't love her. Was he trying to avoid being the bad guy by making Meri leave rather than walking away himself? It seems Kody has convinced himself of a narrative that doesn't reflect the full reality. His relationships with Janelle and Cristin were arguably more strained than the one he had with Meri. Kody and Janelle's marriage faced long-standing issues, including her growing independence, his self-centered behavior, and tensions over parenting. He criticized Janelle for making single-woman decisions and resented her for siding with their children. Meanwhile, Janelle felt her emotional needs were being overlooked. A major breaking point was Kody's increasing distance from their kids, especially after the family's move to Flagstaff, which further deepened the divide. When it came to Cristin, her relationship with Kody suffered due to differing desires for intimacy. She felt unloved and unappreciated. Kody even told Cristin directly that he wasn't attracted to her. Over time, she noticed him becoming emotionally distant as well. Kody wasn't prioritizing Cristin or her children's needs, and his growing affection for Robyn and her family was clear. His behavior took a toll on Cristin's well-being. Her concerns were ignored, and Kody remained emotionally unsupportive. For years, fans of Sister Wives have been told, mostly by Kody himself, that Meri Brown was the odd one out, the emotionally distant wife, the one he spiritually divorced long before Robyn ever entered the picture. But if you peel back the layers of Kody's carefully rewritten history, a surprising truth begins to emerge. Long before Robyn came with her mascara tears and Victorian jewelry, Meri Brown was the queen of Kody's heart. The signs were always there, we just didn't know where to look. Let's rewind to Season 1. Kody's eyes lit up every time Meri walked into the room. Their shared jokes, playful banter, and even their occasional disagreements carried an electric charge that felt absent in his relationships with Janelle and Cristin. It wasn't just the first wife status either. Kody wanted to be around Meri. Remember that awkward family road trip when Kody and Meri sat snugly in the front seat while the others trailed behind? It felt like Kody's idea of a dream vacation, him and Meri leading the pack just like old times. There's also the undeniable fact that Meri was the only wife legally married to Kody for over 2 decades. Legal marriage matters not just for taxes and paperwork, but emotionally, it symbolized priority, power, legitimacy, and in a polygamist family that carries weight. The symbolic act of divorcing Meri to legally marry Robyn in 2014. It wasn't just paperwork. It was Kody publicly ending the Meri chapter, and perhaps that's why it stung so much. You don't rip up something that never mattered. Dig deeper and you'll find even more subtle clues. In old interviews, Kody often referred to Meri as his passionate wife, the one he had the most intense emotions about, both good and bad. That intensity doesn't spring from nowhere. It's the hallmark of someone who once held your full attention. Kody would mention how they fought the most, but what he didn't realize is that strong emotion, whether love or frustration, often stems from deep connection. The opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference, and Kody was never indifferent to Meri. And let's not forget the house drama. During the early Las Vegas seasons, Meri, despite having only one child, got a home just as big as the other wives with more children. Fans were baffled. Why give the extra wet bar and largest closet to the wife with the fewest people in her household? Kody's justification was vague, and the other wives' resentment was barely concealed. But the truth was right there. He still saw Meri as special, even if he wouldn't admit it. Even Cristin, in moments of vulnerability, hinted at Kody's favoritism toward Meri before Robyn entered the picture. In early episodes, Cristin often played the role of the peacekeeper, but her confessionals betrayed feelings of competition, not with Robyn, but with Meri. There was jealousy, especially in how Kody deferred to Meri when making big family decisions. The original power dynamic had Meri as the gatekeeper, and Kody didn't seem to mind. In fact, he leaned on it. And then there's the tragic miscarriage. Meri's emotional pain when she was unable to have more children wasn't just about personal grief, it was also about a shifting dynamic. Kody seemed devastated. He spoke about it in solemn tones, as if a door to a shared future had been slammed shut. That grief wasn't clinical, it was personal. That kind of shared sorrow binds people, even if it eventually drives them apart. What's even more telling is how Robyn's arrival shifted the narrative. Suddenly, Meri was the problem. The wedge, the moody one. But that didn't start until Robyn gained more influence. Could it be that Kody rewrote Meri's history to justify his new obsession? It's easier to cast your former favorite as difficult than admit you fell out of love because someone shinier came along. Robyn didn't just enter the family, she reshaped it. And to do that, she needed to replace Meri, not just as legal wife, but as Kody's emotional cornerstone. Let's also talk about those long late-night talks. In early seasons, Kody would often mention how he and Meri would stay up for hours discussing their future, their dreams, their struggles. We rarely heard him say that about Janelle or Cristin. Even when their relationship became strained, Kody still sought out Meri for deep conversation. Why? Because she was the one he was used to turning to. Old habits die hard. And when Meri had her emotional affair, that infamous online catfishing scandal, Kody's reaction was not indifferent. He was hurt, betrayed, furious. That level of emotional reaction betrayed something deeper than casual disappointment. He felt ownership, yes, but also heartbreak. You don't react like that to someone you've already given up on. You react that way to someone who still mattered.